What's up, guys? Thank you again for tuning into another season of Unscripted, where we have conversations that matter. What makes this one a lot different than the previous ones is that we're not doing interviews where it's interview based. We're having real conversations. You're going to see us unapologetically um, authentic in this moment. And today's show, we're going to be talking about fear and how fear paralyzes you, what to do when you get stuck in a cycle of fear. And like I said, we're really just being very transparent in this season of Unscripted. So I am Shay Owens, and I want to go ahead and welcome my girl Tal to the show.
Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to talk about our topic today.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. So, again, we want to talk about fear and how fear actually will paralyze you. And as I said, we're going to um, talk about the word paralyze for a moment. So, it actually says to bring a system, place, or organization to a standstill by causing disruption or chaos, render someone unable to think or act normally, especially through panic or fear.
Wow.
So, I'm going to leave that up there just for a bit because the one thing about fear is it will actually paralyze you from meeting your goals or stopping you from becoming who God has called you to be. For me, I know that God has given me so many different thoughts and ideas and visions. And when I've stopped because of fear, I've been fearful of what people are going to think of me. I've been fearful of,
Oh,
are they
yeah.
going to receive me? Can I help
Yeah.
them? Can I really do this? God, are you sure it's me? Like, I'm questioning everything on whether or not this is really what I'm supposed to be doing. When in fact, if God gave it to you, He's actually going to be able to see you through it. So I know that we're going to, like I said, break it down a little bit. Bear with us. We have a few things that's going to be popping up for y'all. This is totally new, and it's new for me because God had already shown me that we now need to be seen, right? Everything is on social media now. Everybody's streaming across the board. So, and my fear was, again, with the weight gain, I had thought about that. Whether or not people are really going to tune in. And if you do or you don't, it's okay. I'm still doing what God has called me to do. And that's the mindset that we have to get to as well. So, Tal's going to go ahead and go into these cycles here that y'all we
Girl.
go
Yeah.
into.
Yes. We go through so many different cycles in life, even for myself. Even doing this right here with you, Shay, when my girl called me, say, hey, come on with me and do this unscripted. This is unscripted, y'all. So we're just talking about what the Lord has placed on our hearts. There are a lot of things that God was showing me to do, even in this time and season in my life, that I have been dragging my feet on because I was afraid of, oh, what if it fails? Or, I tried something before and it didn't work. Now, what do I do now? But,
Right.
God started showing me, hey, you are in a cycle of I give you an idea, I give you instruction, and then you stop. And that
And the
had
crazy thing about that too, Tal, is that
yeah,
when you stop doing that very thing, God will allow somebody else to do it and then put it in your face.
yes. That has happened to me. I don't know about y'all out there, but that has happened to me. And I'm like, oh wow, I know I had that idea like one,
Right.
2 3 years ago, and you see somebody doing it. So,
And
you
doing it well.
doing it well and good for them. But what does that tell you? You need to jump on it and kill that cycle. So real quick, cycles is up on your screen. Cycles is a course or a series of events or operations that reoccur regularly and usually lead back to the original starting point. So what does that mean? Cycles. We start somewhere we get going with that vision, that plan, or whatever it is we have in our heart to do, and then something comes to stop us.
I got a perfect example: weight loss.
Girl, yes.
Weight loss, right? I will be dedicated. I will be committed. I will have the mindset. I will order everything from Amazon that I need. Like, I'm going in. I am so going in. I'm motivated. I'm sending text messages out like, who's going to join me? I'm starting Facebook
Yes.
groups. I
Who's
get all of the work. Look, I get everything started, and then we have a function, and we got cake, we got cookies, we got cupcakes, and then I fall off.
right?
Even though it's a choice to eat it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have a little bit here or a little bit there. And it's also portion control. Like, we ain't here to talk about weight loss, but that's really what it is.
Right.
So then what happens is I start beating myself up. So within that cycle, we also begin to beat ourselves up.
We do. And we fall for what becomes familiar to us. So
Say it again.
we fall for what is familiar.
Yes.
Whether it's good or bad. So what we're doing, we're trying to break the cycle, break that familiar thing that keeps knocking us off. So my husband, who is a man of God, preacher,
Come on, Pastor.
he really spoke about an awesome subject on yesterday. Y'all check it out on the After Christ Christian Center website. The link is on your screen. You can just type it in and go to it and listen to it in its entirety. But just a couple of points that he was bringing out is that he was talking about cycles, and he also was talking about the concept of time and how, we have a lot of time that we do waste, y'all.
We waste. And the funny thing is, the most valuable thing that we have,
yes,
is our time. Yet we waste it on people. We waste it on doing miscellaneous things that don't benefit us in one way, shape, and form.
exactly.
Like, we really waste the time that we have, and we, by giving it away to the wrong people or investing, it's like investing your money in a scam.
Exactly.
It's a scam. It's wasting time. So hit us up with it.
So the first one he talked about is Chronos time. That's the time that we typically think about. It refers to the chronological or sequential events of time. We have 24 hours in a day. We have 60 minutes in an hour. Okay. So we have time that we just let roll on, that we don't plan for. And we say, well, I want to start this, I want to do that. Oh, but I just don't have the time. I work, I have to take care of the kids, I have to do X, Y, and Z. There's always an excuse. Well, we all have the same 24 hours in a day to get what we need done. Right. So we have Chronos time. Then he also talked about something called Kairos time. Okay. So that's a Greek term for those of you that may be familiar with that with Greek words, but Kairos time refers to the right or the opportune moment. Okay,
this is our Kairos moment. Let me tell you, we were social distancing in church yesterday, but let me tell you, I was over there air high fiving everybody, because when you get a word that is confirmation of what you should be doing in that season and in that moment, and God had already been giving it to you, or even if you don't have a relationship with God, when you feel that thing deep down in there, that's really the Spirit. But when you feel that thing and you don't move on it, you are missing out on your Kairos moment. You say, it's not my moment, and you make an excuse as to why it is not your moment.
You talk yourself out of it. We talk ourselves out of it. And these are the moments that we are looking for, that we should have our eye open for these moments, because these moments propel us forward.
Yeah.
These Kairos moments, these seasons of that opportune moment, that gut feeling like, I know I need to do this or I need to do that. We need to jump on and seize on those moments, because that's what's going to push us forward.
But the thing is, when we talk about the Kairos moment, right? For some people, it's very easy to have that idea, to have the end all be all goal, and just not know the steps on getting there.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So that's really when you begin to, for me, I'm gonna speak on some truth. Can I go ahead and serve up some truth real quick?
Yeah, serve it up.
What I'm gonna do for me is I'm gonna begin to pray on that thing. I'm gonna begin to ask God, if I don't know how to do it, to align me with the right people that can show me how to do it, or teach me how to do it, or not even just a person. Sometimes it's going to the right website.
Yeah,
honey, everything is on the internet. Everything is on Google. You can do any and everything.
Get your information.
Come on, let me say it again, girl.
Get your information.
Get your information. Get it, but you have to put the work in to get it. Stop making excuses. God had given me, funny enough, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all, right? I'm gonna go ahead and serve up a little bit of truth right now. God gave me revelation, because I had my daughters living here. My office space was taken up. They were in, whatever. All of these different reasons. The kids were home because of COVID. The house was busy. The house was never. I had so many different excuses as to why Unscripted never started. This was supposed to start
Month,
3 months ago.
Yeah.
3 months ago, the thought came in. The guy was like, it's time for the word, the true word, not just his word, but just honest conversation that people don't want to talk about. It's all taboo. So he had given me that. And I had all these excuses. Well, God, I can't because of this, or I can't because of that, or I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I would feel guilty as a mom. And we're going to talk about that on a later show. But I would feel guilty taking so much time with the business when I had my children here. I didn't spend as much time with them because I'm working on the business, and it just went back and forth. It was a cycle. It was that cycle, right?
Yeah. Right.
So then the shift began to come. And the shift was, I got my office space back. The children are gone for the summer. The husband is gone at work during the day. God said, what's going to happen when I remove all of your distractions?
Exactly.
What's going to be your excuse now?
Now what? No,
that's my truth. That's my truth. And it was real. And then it was like, oh, well, I don't want to do it by myself. And God said, okay, find somebody then. Like, go get your girl. Me and Tal, we always have these conversations anyway. So why not have them and share with everybody else? So, but what if she wasn't available? God was dealing with me that this morning. Like, I literally was dealing with that this morning. What if one day she's not available? What you gonna do, boo? That's how my God talked to me. I don't know about how your God talked to you, but that's how God talked with me. He was like, what you gonna do, boo?
Right. You still gotta do it. Right.
I'm gonna continue to move forward because I now understand that God has placed something in me that has to get out, whether I have somebody right here with me or not.
Exactly.
I have to make these steps to move forward. So that's just my truth on that.
That's Look, that you even asked me to be on here. I was like, okay, I've never done it before.
That wasn't her first answer. She was like,
let me sip my tea. I
don't know. But I thank God that not only did she say yes, she didn't say yes because we're friends. She said yes because she actually believed in the vision. Sometimes you have to invest into another person.
Yes.
Help them to see your vision. And if they don't see it, which we're going to talk about that a little bit later, so I don't want to spoil it right now. I almost went there, but we ain't going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and let her finish talking about, the Kairos time and how that really operates and what we need to do in that season.
Yes. And just like you said, when you're talking about telling your truth, all of that God was dealing with you on to bring you into your Kairos moment. So that's it right there. That's a perfect example. And if we all sit and think about, we can all think about the times when, okay, the cycle has to be broken in your mind, your cycle of thinking about what you can't do.
She says thinking.
And we stop ourselves before we even get started. But it starts up here, that cycle of thinking. We have to break that. And so that we can walk into the Kairos moment, that opportune moment when God brings that opportunity, opens that door. We got to actually step through it. He can bring it to us, but what are we going to do? We have to actually step into it. So,
and it's not just dealing with business, because we talked a lot about, our business. It has to do with relationships.
Yes.
The relationships. So many of us fear having new friendships. Oh, right?
Can I serve up my truth on that?
Girl, go ahead and serve your truth on that. Please serve your truth on it. Like, go ahead.
Serve my truth on that. Because
I'm going to skip on this while you serve that truth, because I already know what the truth is. Go ahead, Pat.
Since you brought up relationships.
Make sure it's the truth too, boo. Tell them all.
Look.
Be unapologetic about your look. How you did me. How you did me, y'all, in the beginning. It's okay.
I'm the type of person. I don't let a lot of people in real quick. Okay. That's just me.
You don't. Look, I'm about to joke over here. She don't.
Because she knows it's true. But on the real, I almost didn't have the benefit of this beautiful relationship with my girl Shay here.
All the fabulousness, y'all.
Beautiful relationship because of my past, because of being let down in the past by friends, by being hurt, by being betrayed, by having these things happen. I was like, nope, I don't need no more friends. I don't need no more new people in my life. I'm
Right.
good on that. People hurt you when they get close to you. Stinking thinking, y'all. Stinking
Right.
thinking.
Right.
So God began to do with me like, no, I've opened up this door for you to get to know someone new. And it's been a good thing, but it was a challenge for me. I'm kind of an introverted person anyway. But
And we feel like that, like being very real. Like
yeah,
our friendship, we have to take steps in building what we want to happen because we can see that God didn't just connect us for it to be
exactly.
a season, but
No,
like, or just a reason or a season,
yeah,
but
it's
this is like a
intentional.
lifelong, thing. And we're gonna talk about setting the boundaries and all that on a whole nother
Yes,
show,
yes.
with the different friendships. But even with me, I'm gonna serve up another truth moment, y'all. Coming Being new to Michigan, being from New York originally and then moved to Florida and then met my husband and moving here, and I was so open. I was excited about this new journey that
Mhm.
I was about to embark on, with my husband's family and just getting to know his friends, and that didn't happen. Can we say my silence was golden?
Oh, go.
There were
Well,
a lot of people that were completely opposed to my marriage or
mm-hmm.
my relationship. They thought I ain't even gonna go there, but they thought
Mm-hmm.
about me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there were a lot of negative things that were thought about me before they even got a chance to even know who I was. But in that, because I was so gung ho on having, I didn't necessarily walk in fear in that,
Mm-hmm.
but it stopped me, and it
Yeah.
caused me to pause, and it caused me to go into prayer, and it caused me to um get out of my stinking thinking, because the stinking thinking came along with why don't they like me? Now
Right.
I'm reverting back to things from my past.
To your past. Will I be accepted? Why won't they accept me? Right.
Right. What
Mhm.
have I done?
Have I
All of these
done?
different things. And even being new to a marriage, why are they not accepting of our relationship?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at my husband, which we dated long distance up until the point we got married. So I don't know really who he is living with him. I don't know what he's like on day-to-day basis. Like, I'm not gonna lie, serving up another truth moment here. The day after I got married, I was just like, what did I do? I
Yeah.
was afraid because I had already walked in divorce before twice. And
Mm-hmm.
oh, y'all, that's gonna be such an amazing show. We already have points on it. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot wait for it to come up. So please stay tuned. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward. We are not gonna take up too much of your time with just a bunch of truth moments. So we're gonna go ahead and get off of that real quick. And we're gonna go ahead and move forward. We're gonna tell you actually how to deal with fear and when fear arises in you, and ways to really overcome
And they can
that
be
fear.
applied to all your situations with all the examples we have. Those are different examples: relationships, business, family. These can be applied to all of those areas.
Absolutely. So the best way for me is to just do it.
Yeah.
I've done speaking engagements. I have a coaching business. I have a media group that deals with social media. We now have unscripted podcasts. And in all of these areas, doubt, fear, anxiety, I had to remove those things from my life in order to really truly be successful in these areas. And now I'm able to help others really meet their goals and push them in a way that maybe they weren't pushed before, which can become uncomfortable. But the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing I would say is to just do it. Step
Yeah.
out there. Now, I'm afraid of snakes. I ain't touching no snake. I'm afraid of heights. You probably won't see me jumping out of an airplane. So there are certain things that I'm just not going to do.
Just not gonna do.
I'm not trying to I don't need to just jump out of an airplane. I'm okay with staying on the ground. I really am. Um, so there are certain things that clearly I'm just not going to just do. But when it comes to walking in my purpose,
Right.
walking into my destiny, walking into who God has called me to be, walking into being a better wife, a better mother, a better friend, a better servant of God, a better leader, a better motivator, a better coach. All of those things, I'm going to cast down my imagination. I'm going to get rid of my thinking, I'm going to just do it.
Yes.
The next thing we're talking about doing is actually putting a scripture to it. Again, if you don't have that relationship with God, I do encourage you. Everything that I've been through in life, I give it to God. I thank God for my trials, my tribulations, my flaws, my faults, everything, because it's helped me to be the woman that I am today. And really, y'all, I love the woman I am today. I don't know, but I do.
Your place.
You know, we want to go ahead and, for us, and including Tal, I can speak for her, we put a scripture on it.
Yes.
Sometimes
Definitely.
when you don't know what to say or how to say it, sometimes you have to just read it.
Right.
And you read it and you reread it and you read it again until something happens down in your spirit that pushes you, is going to catapult you to move forward. There was something that I had heard a while back, that all of the things that come up against your goals, or all of the things that come up against your dreams or your visions, it's like being placed into a catapult. The catapult has to come all the way back in order for it to get the furthest distance ahead.
Right.
So sometimes you have to be pulled backwards. Sometimes it has to feel like you're going backwards, because maybe God is telling you you ain't ready. That's the reality. Sometimes you're not ready for what you want. And so you have to go through a period of standstill, but don't allow that. Don't be still because of fear.
Exactly.
Don't
that standstill should be a place of preparation. So you're doing, even in that place of standstill, you're preparing yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's also coming from identifying where this fear is coming from. For many people, they have a fear of public speaking. Why? Why do you have that fear? For some, they have a fear of getting into a relationship. Why? Because you're afraid of being hurt. You're afraid you're not going to be your best you. You've been cheated on you, and you're like, identify where that fear, and that's the coach in me coming out. You have to identify where something is coming from, or why you're feeling that, or why you're experiencing that. So that's actually one of the first steps that I take my clients through. We're going to identify the ground. Where's the foundation of it? Right. Tal said, make a decision.
We have to make a decision. So we're going to just do it. We're going to put a scripture on it. We're going to identify where the fear is coming from. And then we have to make a decision. It all starts with a decision. And sometimes the greatest thing that hinders us is our fear of rejection.
Ooh, yes.
Being rejected by that person you want the relationship with, being rejected. Oh, your ideal is not good enough. We fear rejection because at the end of the day, we all want to be accepted and be accepted for who we are. Whatever we have in us that God has put in us, we want to be accepted for that. So we have to make a decision that, okay, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. This has to be our belief system. That God's made me worthy enough, that I'm capable enough to do what it is he's put in me to do. So with that attitude, with that mindset, I'm going to make a decision to step out there and do the thing that God has put in me.
Right. Absolutely. And stop caring so much about what other people think. I remember when I first started coaching.
Oh my goodness.
I remember somebody came to me and said, well, you should really get back into doing hair because you're really good at it. And they weren't coming from a nasty place or a malicious place. They were just coming from a place because what happens is people will place you in a box.
In a box. Yes. Oh, yes. Right there.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that I work with, and when I'm doing branding, right, on the social media side, I'm very careful to not place them in a box. And I'm also very careful to remind them of not allowing people to place them into a box. So I have a woman that wants to do one line of work,
Mm-hmm.
just to make that extra stream of income. But her end all be all goal is this. And I was like, you got to be very careful, because what happens is people place you in this box and they categorize you in this box. So therefore they can't see you doing anything else
Outside of that, right?
outside of that box. And a lot of times our stinking thinking,
Yes.
we will place ourselves into a box.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I didn't know that for me, I'm going to speak my truth again. I did not know that I was capable of doing the things that I'm currently doing today.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Mm-hmm.
always been in a position to help people. So I knew that coaching, for me, that was my passion in all of this. I didn't know that um 2-3 years ago I was going to be on Sirius XM doing a live show every week, which was also a podcast. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I would have just my own conversations, on my podcast, doing my interviews. I didn't know that Unscripted Media Group, which is new, which
Right.
was birthed out of COVID.
Right.
I bet you all who are making the different masks and all these different things, helping people get through COVID while making a little bit of coins.
Right.
Okay. I bet you didn't know that was
You
really
didn't see it. Right. You didn't see it coming.
really Noah's Network.
Oh yes.
Talk about that,
Yes.
because you're using your own journey to say about, you know, what other people were
Yeah.
thinking. You have to not care about that. So I want you to talk a little bit about, Noah's Network as well.
Yeah, my process to get to the place to launch Noah's Network. Again, we're talking about cycles and being in fear. God had given me that to start in 2016. Okay. And after, things happening and really just walking through my own journey, again, for those of you that don't know, Noah's Network is an organization dedicated to assisting families and children that are special needs that may suffer from intellectual disabilities or developmental disabilities. It's a lot of things that fall up under there: autism, ADHD, just to name a few. But our goal is to assist families and be a support to families that need help. That was birthed out of my own journey, raising my own child that has these challenges and looking around and not really having the help that I was hoping for. But that fear of starting the organization was there because I'm like, well, I'm not an expert. I'm not, you know, this is not where my training is. But I had to realize God showed me, no, you are an expert because you're walking this journey, and He is showing me so many things, and I've had to research so much and educate myself so much. I've gone to trainings and got certifications so that I can be learned to be able to help somebody else's journey be a little easier. And that
Mhm.
became my passion. I began to talk to parents and encourage parents and direct them to different resources and things that they can do for their children. And that is truly where the organization was birthed out of, just a desire to want to help other families navigate this process. But
Right.
I had to get over the fear. And when COVID hit, it was like I had an opportunity to really have a moment because things slowed down.
Everything stopped.
Everything stopped. And
Everything.
I had to be like, okay, now I have to face this fear because it's sitting here because it ain't never go anywhere. The idea, the passion, the drive, the bubble in the stomach where I just want to do this, it never went anywhere. But now
Right.
I had to look at it and address it and overcome the fear and just do it. Like we talked about in ways to overcome fear. I just had to do it.
Just do
I had
it.
been preparing for years, doing this and doing that, but finally just going all the way over the cliff and jump out there.
Yeah. And even with me, starting a business of coaching and empowering and motivating and helping and really breaking chains,
Right.
it came from a place in me that years ago was broken. I was in 2 marriages that were domestically abusive, both mentally and emotionally. Mentally, I was at a terrible place, at a broken place. I was on antidepressants. I was drinking. I was doing things, that really I shouldn't have been doing. That I thank God for His covering, because
Mhm.
I could have been taken out of here a long time ago. And so when I was like, I've always been a person to help somebody. I've always been a person to push somebody. And I always felt that God had given me um the spirit of healing. But I thought that was gonna be like, okay, you sick, I'm gonna come lay hands, pray for you. Right. That's what I thought. That was in my mind because God had
Limited.
given me a spirit of healing. But what
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was going to be healing for the brokenhearted,
Exactly.
healing for abuse, because
Yeah.
a victim of domestic violence, um, against suicidal thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Really get in and go in. And I used to call myself a restoring life and relationship coach. And the reason why is because I would go into those areas that are broken, tarnished, bruised,
Right.
damaged, and help you reshape that.
Mm-hmm.
Help you, if as long as it's not completely destroyed, you can fix it.
Exactly.
And that's really where I came in. And then, although I had been divorced twice, even before I got married, I always loved to help other couples, and I always want to see marriages flourish and thrive. And so now that I am married again, and again, I told you I had my own fears, even with getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there were certain things that I had to remove my fear and really walk in what God has called me to walk in as far as my marriage is concerned.
Exactly.
I had to get out of that. So that was super important, as well. Um, but I want to let you guys know that fear and faith, they ain't friends.
No, they don't exist together.
They can't be in the same area.
Mm-mm.
They don't hang out. They don't go have lunch. Like, think about your friendships.
Yeah.
Really think about your friendships and think about the people that come up against you. Would,
Yes.
would you mix the two together? Because I wouldn't.
Exactly. How can you find success in that?
Say that again, please.
How can you find success in that? Fear
You
and
can't.
faith. Mm-mm. Doesn't go together.
You can't. And so when I was, when we were getting ready for the show, there was a website that I had went to, which was Bible Study Tools website. And it says, when fear knocks on your door, go ahead and send faith to answer it.
That's right.
I'm gonna need y'all to read that. I'm gonna take a pause. Let y'all read that again. All right, you got it. I got it now. You got it now.
And so, hey, we're gonna send faith to the door. But if you need a little help with your faith, we do have some scriptures that can help you.
Come on now. And
Now,
it's so funny that when we're in that Kairos moment, you'll begin to notice things just begin to line up.
yes,
Because I was going and pulling the scriptures, and when I was like, well, go ahead and go in and get the scriptures that you like, and there's one that we both stand on, which is from Isaiah.
yes, Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand.
Come on.
That's God's promise to us. He is with us no matter what we're going through. So when we feel that place of fear, God is reminding us he's right there with us,
Right.
holding our hand to walk us through. And he strengthens us. Even when we feel weak, that's where you can find your strength,
Right.
is in God.
And for me, again, I call on the Holy Spirit. If I get stuck at a place, if I'm trying to be creative, I'm just like, Holy Spirit, I need your help. I need you to
Yes. Give it
talk
to
to
me,
me.
Lord. Yeah. Give it to me.
Talk to him like you talk to yourself,
Mhm.
and begin to build that relationship, because I can promise you that the enemy is real. The enemy is very real, and he's going to come in and he's going to try and stop you from being all that God has called you to be.
Right.
So we got to be very mindful of that as well. And there's another scripture that in 1 Peter 5:6-7, and it says, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he, not you, not your best friend,
Right.
not the neighbor down the street.
Not them group of people you're trying to associate with.
Look, I'm going to take a pause and look right here. Not those group of people.
If you travel in these circles, then no. You don't
Right.
need circles.
That he may lift you up in due time. That means your time, your season, your Kairos moment,
Yes.
that he may lift you up in due time and cast all of your anxiety on him, because he's so loving, he's so giving, he's so caring, he cares for us.
Yes.
He wants the best for us. we have to do the work. We got to build that relationship. We have to release everything, all of our cares, all of our fears, all of
Mm-hmm.
our anxieties, our passions. If you have a vision, take it to God.
Exactly. You know what else stops us?
Come on, tell us.
We look at other people and compare.
Why we ain't got a note? Yes. Look, got my hair falling out. Yes.
But it's
Yes.
true, right? Let's be real. Like so and so doing this, so and so doing that. So now you're trying to match and one up them so that you can look like you're doing something. When the scripture says that it's God's timing that exalts you in due time. We humble ourselves and do the work, seek his face, and do our part in his time, and he'll bring us up. And then we don't have time looking at other people. But that's what
Because
we do.
everybody's social media happy.
Girl. Everybody look like they doing a thing, right? And then I'm not trying to hate on people, but
I love watching certain lives. I love
yeah,
watching, even if I don't necessarily comment or jump in or whatever,
right.
I do, but I don't do it to compare. I do it because
Exactly.
I'm motivated by it. And
Yes.
so many people will say, oh, well, I can't be on social media because it's distracting, or it's they always talking about drama and they're always talking about this, but you follow them.
Exactly. Because who you following? Because I don't have all that.
My timeline is not like that. None
Exactly.
of I don't have shenanigans on my timeline. And
Yes.
if I do, there's the word block,
Exactly.
delete,
Unfollow.
unfollow, right? And just really quick, jumping back, when you're putting your business out there, I've had somebody to ask me, well, do you watch your likes and your I watch my comments.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped being so focused on my likes,
Yes.
my hearts, who's engaging.
Yeah.
I stopped being so consumed
With that. Yeah.
with it. It was consuming me in the beginning.
Because now your motivations are changing.
Come on now.
Now your motivations are changing, and we have to stick with what is true, the truth of what we're trying to do versus getting into sucked into that vacuum of I just want to be seen. I want people to think I'm doing this, or that. No, just don't even focus on that. Focus on what God's given you to do.
Right. And the very last point that we want to leave you with is another way to overcome fear is align. If you need to, God is clearly, he can do all things, but sometimes we need a little extra encouragement, a little extra push.
Mm-hmm.
Align yourself with the right people.
Right.
When I was starting out, which I think I started saying earlier, when I was starting out in my coaching business, I realized, because I had made a few posts on like another page that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody would say anything. And that my thought process started changing, like, oh my God, I can't do
Here
this.
comes the doubt.
I was so afraid. Oh my God. I was so afraid to step into what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And I created another page. I did.
Yeah.
So if you look at my name, you might find my personal page, which I hardly ever go on there anymore, because
Uh-huh.
the people that you think will support you really won't support you, because they have placed you in that box
In the box of what you can and cannot do.
of what you can and cannot do. They don't see it. And I remember somebody had said to my husband and I back when I first started and I got certified, and he was like, I can see you doing it, but I can't see your husband helping people. And I
Wow.
was like,
Really?
I had to give him the side eye, because my husband is a police officer. So he could not
See him outside.
he couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, because guess what my husband and I are doing now, honey?
Y'all doing it.
We helping other people. Yes, we go through our own motions, but we are growing from it. We are learning from it. And that's a whole nother
Mm-hmm.
down the line conversation. But you have to make sure that you align yourself with the right people. So when people begin to speak negatively, or they begin to help you in that doubt,
Mm-hmm.
it's time to not so much get rid of them. Maybe it is, but it's
Right.
time to move those pieces around.
Make some adjustments.
Make some adjustments. That's also with setting boundaries. Stop.
Yeah.
And then the last one, which I love, Tal gave us this.
Don't cast your vision to those who can't catch it, y'all. Think about a fishing line. I'm casting my net and I'm looking to catch some fish, but sometimes, we cast our line before the wrong people.
And
Okay.
then, like she used that analogy, those who fish, like I throw my line out there. I think I caught something great and I pull up seaweed.
Oh, oh, okay now. So look, we're not trying to catch seaweed here. We're trying to catch the fish that we're supposed to be catching.
Right.
And
Right.
sometimes, though, really though, we want to share our vision. We get excited. We want to get people on board with us to help us be motivated to be able to do that thing. And sometimes, you know what? The ones you think is not going to be there, and it's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay. That's the thing. You don't have to be mad. It's okay. But pray about it. Ask God to show you those people, to bring those people in your life that will help you uh, perform and do your vision and perform your vision to its entirety. Because no man's an island. We can't do all this. God didn't bring us to do all this by ourselves. So, like, I got my friend here, Shay. I got other people that may run an ideal by that that I can trust to give me wise counsel. These are the people you need to surround yourself with when you're trying to build.
And build as far as a person or a business or a relationship.
Exactly.
You know, don't allow fear to paralyze you because you will miss out on some great opportunities. That's what we want to go ahead and leave you with. We're not going to hold you up too long. We actually went over time. So, again, stop allowing fear to paralyze you.